So yesterday we learnt about few bootstrap related classes. Bootstrap classes we are learning. First in bootstrap classes we learnt about box model classes. Box model classes margin, padding, width, height. We have border and rounded. These are all box model related classes. They have breakpoint with border, width, height, style, size, and all. Next, after understanding the box model classes, now other classes we will see. Have you tried this? Installing Bootstrap, linking those files, right? Just like Bootstrap icons, use some classes for icons. Here, for all the CSS styles you have learned, we have some Bootstrap classes for them. I will give you some important classes list, but actually main Bootstrap concept is working with components. Components means the carousels, buttons, and all this. So let's see how it works. So in this, yesterday we discussed about all these padding, margins, and all. Okay. Next important is in the bootstrap classes, we have position related classes. Position classes, already what we learned, positions, same classes will be available. We have position static. So we have position absolute and position relative and position sticky and position fixed. These are position. We have top, we have start, we have end, and we have bottom. Start and end are related to left and right. These are top, you have a breakpoint. So, and start breakpoint, end breakpoint, bottom breakpoint. These breakpoints have only 0, 25, 750, 75, and 100. Only these values are present for the breakpoints. These are the position related classes. We already know few points how to handle them. So let's see here. I will create one button. Effects later we will add. Suppose I will keep it div. Class width is 100. Suppose 50. Okay. Now just temporarily in this div, we are having another div. Let's put as some 20%. And here we will give a style, height as 300 pixel. And you can see we are having a small div. Colors and effects I will show you now. We can add colors effects for that. Now You see in the div, actually, this div have a border and border as secondary and border as 3 or 4. Some size will come like this. And it is also having a padding 4 like this. Now this 20%, we are having this 20%. I am keeping as class, position as absolute, and the top as 0. And you can see it will come somewhere top there. And end also 0 means right side. It will go completely page right side. But who is the parent? You can see it is here now, but it should be inside the parent. You know what to do. For whom you have to give relative? For parent. Parent we have to give position. Position is what? Relative. Then it will be inside. You know this concept. Already we know positions. Only the point, we need to know the class names for them. I am not explaining again positions here, just class names, right? This is just example of those position related classes, how we can apply the position classes. Next important, in the classes, we have text and background color. Text and background color classes, we have dot, text and contextual. We have BG and contextual. That's it. Contextual means yesterday I told you. Contextual means what? Success, primary, secondary, danger, warning, all these comes under contextual. So for example, you see here, for this div, I given as BG danger, text white, and you can see it will be like that. We have padding 2. So little bit padding is there here. We given rounded and rounded circle. Then you see it looks like this. This is background color, foreground color we can apply. For foreground color, we have text. For background color, we have BG. So, contextual means primary, secondary, danger, warning, success, info. So dark, light, like this we have white, so many. These are all contextual. Background contextual or foreground contextual we can apply. Anywhere for heading, paragraph, span, div, anywhere we can apply this. Next, we are having another important, so text classes. Actually, text style classes. Text style classes. We have text style classes like font size and contextual. This is font size from 1 to 7. 7 levels we can apply. FW, what it is? Font weight you can give as bold. Font FW, FST. Font style means what? Italic. So font size, font weight, font style, we can apply like this. We have H and size. This is nothing but these are all classes. Classes means they just dot is required. H is for heading. H is for heading. Heading from 1 to 6. 6 heading levels are there now. You can define heading 1 to 6. We have text and this is alignment. Text alignment. Align, we have like start, we have end, we have center, we have justify. You know that text alignments we can apply left, right, and all. Another text, text decoration, decoration none, text decoration overline. Here itself, I will give. You can give none. You can give underline. You can give overline. You can give line through all these text decoration. Text decoration means underline, overline, line through. These are the classes for text. So font size, font weight, font style, headings, text alignments, text decorations. These are text related classes. I told you for every reason they don't have classes. Few are available with few values you can use. Others we have to manually apply. Next, important, you see, these we can apply. Suppose I want to increase this font size. Then what we do? Here for the text, we can apply here FS, font size 4. Then size will little large. So we will apply font weight as bold. Then it will be like bold, right? So we can apply font. So text decoration, line through, underline, overline, all these are available. We can have some underline. That's not required here, but just I'm showing the class. So we don't need to show you examples. Just I will give the class names. You can just implement and try them, right? You, because already we know what are they. Just what class names are there, we need to learn. So text classes, background classes, colors, textile related classes. Next important, in the classes we are having display classes. Display classes we have D flex, D none, so D block. So we have D inline, we have D inline block. So we have that's it. D grid is not there. Display grid is not there. For grid, they have a different approach. I will show you. So we have flex wrap. So we have flex no wrap. No wrap. We have direction. Flex direction row. Actually, it is like flex row. We have like what flex column. And flex, we have row reverse. You have like flex column reverse. We have like justify space between, justify space around. You have justify space evenly. You have justify center. We have align items center. So align items, what else? Baseline, baseline, align items, what end? All these are classes we have. Actually, these all styles with values we apply. Now for all of them, they are having class. We have to just apply those class names. Justify content, justify space between, justify space around evenly. All these are same. So flex, justifying, block, inline, none, inline block, all are same. Only the point is we don't have the concept of grid. Grid is different. For grid, they have other options. I will show you. For example, let's see, these are all display related classes. I will show you a location of documentation of these people because You can't simply just depend on these forever, because in the coming versions they may release a new version. In that, some of them they may change, they may add new, they may remove. Already they are regularly changing them. Some options that previous batch people learnt, they are not there for you. What you learnt, you may not able to use the same forever. It will change regularly, they will be changing. You need to visit their official website, check which version is latest, check which version your company is using in the project. How you know which version your company is using in the project? That you will see in package JSON file. That means when we go to the package JSON file, in package JSON file, we will see that Bootstrap is version 5.3 in this project. So if they are using a different version, then according to that, we need to apply. Okay, let's see display options, how they work. Same thing. I will use a nav. I'm using a span. This is like shopper. Okay. After that, let's say this is a header. And in that, after that, we have a nav. In the nav, we are having span like home, span like shop. We have span like pages. So like blog, like this, we are having docs. And we have another div with a span. So class BI search. So another span. So class BI person. And we have another span like some class BI heart. And so class BI cart. Some options we have. Now we want a good appearance for this. We want a good appearance for this. Then see what we are doing. For header, we will simply put class first border. Border is 2 or 1 is enough. Border is secondary color. Then it will show like this. And actually, I given padding start very much. I will give 2. Padding top also 2. That's fine. Inside this padding is 3. Some gap will come. And for this, we will keep deflex, display flex. After that, what? Justify content between that will get between. So suppose now this shopper, we will use one more align items center. Okay. And I will keep class font size is 4. Font weight is bold. It will say shopper. And see this class font size is 5, little large. And you see shop class MX is 2. That means left and right some gap. MX is 4. That means some gap. Similarly, here also what we will do, class MX is 4, some gap. So we can add here also, that is like MX is 2. Here also some MX is 2. And you see some gap. This we can easily implement with class names. We don't need to write manually. Already written, just apply those classes. So we can apply different effects for this. What is it? BG dark. So text white. And you can see that's how they look. So this is basic. You change the effects so many, like what BG success, then it will be like this. So these are more better, fast in applying the effects and styling them. So this is an example just to make you understand about these display options. Understand? So these are what classes? These are related to display. display related classes. Next important in the classes we are having, another important is we have button classes, button classes, button list styles, so many we'll see. Button classes, for buttons we have separate class BTN, BTN contextual, contextual, and we have like BTN outline contextual, outline contextual, BTN SM or LG, small or large. So BTN link, so BTN close, so BTN close white is there. So we have another one BTN group, BTN group vertical, vertical. We have BTN toolbar. These are all button related classes. So buttons related, all these classes are there. We can try them. But important for all these classes, this is BTN is base class. Remember, for everywhere there is a base class where I showed you. If you don't apply the base class, it will not work. Base class compulsory, after base class, other classes. If you have observed, whenever I used rounded, after that rounded number, after that rounded color, that means dark or something like this, means border and all. So rounded, because remember, if you directly give rounded 3, it will not work. What is the base class for that rounded? Suppose I want to use a border, then we have to first write border. That is the base. After that, border 1, 2, like that. If you directly write border 2, it will not work. So base class is mandatory. You might have seen whenever we used B class, whenever you have seen BI home like this. BI is the base class actually. Without this, this will not work. That means you are applying two classes. In that first one is a base class. And if you don't apply the base class, it is not ready for this. That is the reason this is compulsory for all these buttons, contextual and all. So let's see how it works. Now here, this is example. This is example for navbar, just like I created. Let's see how buttons will look like. For your understanding sake, I will create a data list data term button base. So we have a button here and it is submit. This is normal button you will see. When we apply the class as BTN, that is the base class. You see, it looks like this. Button base don't have any border or anything until I click there. It's just plain. Okay. Now, what effects you can add? Suppose we are having contextual. Contextual means what? We have a button like suppose insert. We have a button like update. We have a button like delete. Delete. Then what you can do here, the classes BTN. BTN is primary. This is BTN. BTN is warning. Here this is BTN and BTN danger. And you can see these are contextual buttons. Button have a different style, different color, different appearance. You have different style, color and appearance for button. There are different colors, contextual already I told you. You have another one, outline contextual. Outline contextual means BTN outline primary. BTN outline warning, BTN outline warning. We have like BTN outline danger. You can see these are outline styles. That means we have button contextual, we have button contextual outline. Button size are there. Actually, suppose I am using different button size. Okay, let's see, this is size. Size is nothing but for the middle button I given as BTN SM, that is small. Last button I given BTN LG, LG is large. You can see button size different. Actually, this is normal button. This is the smaller and this is large. Button have different size, different size. We have special buttons. Special buttons like you have a button, suppose sign out. You have a button. Now see sign out button class BTN link. It will look like a link. It looks like a link. But it is not a link. What is it? It is a button. It's not like a link. It is a button. So, but it looks like a link, hyperlink. There is another one. What is special? BTN and BTN close. BTN close will give a close button like this. This is close. That means it is just a button with by default some types are available. These are special type of buttons. Close button, link button, these are special type of buttons. Another important is we have a button group also. Button group means you see now we are adding some button class BI, we will say like pause, okay, and BTN some danger, okay. I have some button combinations. So button pause, so button play, and we have button stop. Like this, we have some buttons. You see those buttons look like this. That means it is a combination of buttons like this. Now what I'm doing is, let's shift this here. Play, pause, stop, like this will give. Okay. Now I want to make, I'm adding in a video player or something. I want to make it look like a single panel in that they can touch the button. Then just for this data definition where you have button, we can apply a class and the class is BTN and BTN group. If I apply BTN group, then it looks like a group. That means now it looks like a single button. But actually it is a combination of three buttons. It looks like all buttons are combined. I given same color, you can give different colors. Suppose this button is having like what dark, it have a different appearance, right? I given same, you can give different appearance. This is called button group. Button group vertical is also there. We have vertical. That means it will be like this. Horizontal, vertical, like orientations you can control. These are very much used in toolbars, nav bars, where we make it look like all single button, but actually they are divisions. There is another one. What is it? Button toolbar is there. Suppose you see, I'm creating a nav here. And in this, we will keep a button. This is Amazon something. After that, so this is one div, okay. In that Amazon and class BTN and BTN danger. Some. Similarly, I have another div. Okay. In this, I'm having like other options like home, like about, contact, something. So like what? pages like shop, something I have given. You can add more icons and all. Usually it looks like this. See what we are doing for this now. I am applying BTN toolbar. BTN toolbar, it makes automatically flex. Means button toolbar have a flex style automatically. And BG danger. Then automatically it looks like a single one. That looks like a single bar. So instead of manually writing deflex, justify content and or, you can directly apply like this. You can directly apply like this. That means you can directly define so as a button toolbar. Button toolbar. That means it looks like all combined. All combined. So these are ready-made button related classes. That means to make the buttons in better appearance. Button with contextual outline, contextual size, special buttons and groups and toolbar. These are button related classes. Next important in the classes we have this is yeah 6. Next important in the classes, this is very major important thing is form classes. Form classes are nothing but form elements are there. For them special classes are there to make the forms more better in appearance. What are the classes it is having? We have form control. This class is used for text, password, number. It is used for URL, email. It is used for text area. For all these, that means mostly for string type. For string type, we use form control. Even we can use for date. So for all these, the class is what? Form control. Form control is a class used for text box, passwords, numbers, URL, and everything. Another important, we are having a form uh, range. Form range. It is used for range input. We have a input type range now. For that we have to use form range. Another form select. It is used for drop down. For drop downs we have a class called form select. That is form select. So form control color. Form control color. This is for color input. This is for color input. We have input type color now. Form control file. This is for file input. We have a input file also. So we have the class like form check input. This is used for radio and checkbox. We have form check label. This is used for labels for checkbox and radio. We have form label. This is for what? Labels. For labels. We have form switch. This is for what? This is for container that have radio and checkbox. Checkbox. The container that have radio and checkbox. For that we have form switch. These are all form related classes. So let's see how we can use them. That means how to implement this. form range, form select, form control, colors and all. So already we designed form, but these will make the forms more better in appearance. These are all form related classes. Let's see. First, I will create a simple form. So we are having a form and I will give a div. So with this div, we will add a class bi person circle. Okay. And user register user. Something we given like this, and it will have font size is fold, font weight is bold. This form is having a border. So border is 1 and rounded, and I will give padding as 3 or 4. That will be better. Deflex justify content center. That's the option we are giving. And usually there will be a form like this. That's a simple form we are having. W, I will give the form 50. That's the form 50 or 25. That looks fine. So that is the form we are having. The original size is this. Okay. Now in the form, we are having some elements. You already learnt, I showed you how to create a traditional form. For traditional form, every category we keep a div. Every div will have a label. So label is some username. Under that a div. For that we have a text box. Names and others you can add. Similarly, this is username. Okay. Another container. This is for password. Password. Just I given some password. Okay. Another category I given like city. City. Okay. And here we given a drop down. Select with an option, select city. And we have an option Delhi, Hyderabad like this. Okay. And another category. In this category, we selected suppose some rating like this. Input type I given as range. Okay. You can have anything there. Just I want to show you different elements. Next, one more I will give here as a subscribed. So here we give input type as what checkbox and label. This is like yes, just some text we are adding. And we have another div with a button. So this is like what register. Fine. You see, this is the form we are having. That's a basic form we are having. Now, how Bootstrap can make it little better? First thing, every category, for every category, we will give class margin bottom 3, some gap. So this I will apply for everyone. Password for city, for rating, for subscribed, I will give. Below button, there is nothing, so enough. You see that will be some gap. And this will also have margin bottom 3 or 4, some down will come. Okay, now here this label we will apply a class. For labels, there is a class called form label. And you can see that form label automatically you can see label has some gap. Others don't have. So wherever label is there, the class for label is what? Form label. So I will copy this and wherever label is there, you apply form label. Form label. Okay, this is best. Now you can see some gap is there between the titles and all. Okay, now for text box, what is the class we can apply? What is the class? I already given text box password. What is the class? Form control. Form control. You can see text box now becomes like this. This is ordinary text box or password. This is a bootstrap one. Now we want password. For password, which class? Password also form control. Okay, you can see password also same. For drop down, which class? Form select. Form select is for drop down. You can see drop down is different. That means you are entering some details, you are entering some password. You can see the elements look different. What is the class for this one? Slider. So for that we have form range. Form range is for that. You see its appearance changed a little bit. That is form range. Now see what is the class for checkbox. Form check input. For checkbox and radio, it is form check input. For label that is having for checkbox, we use form check label. That's how we do. And you can see checkbox looks little different now. But now special will be there. What is that special? The container that have checkbox. For that, we can use class form switch. Then you will see checkbox will change to a switch like this, which I already told you. That these are also checkboxes only. Appearance are changed. Now, this is a traditional switch we use these days very much. Radio can be there, checkbox also can be there. So, this is for form. And next, button you know already. What are the button? Class BTN, warning, and W100. 100 means width 100. Then the button will be like this. So traditionally, the form can have some background color and all BG dark. So some text white, and you can see the form looks like this. We can add different colors and effects just randomly I added. So making the form appear little better. We can do that by using these form classes. So I given only few. You put input type color. I given a class name. You have to use those classes, right? So generally, to make the forms more better in appearance, you need this class. So this is form related classes. This is the example of form classes. Example is this, right? Next important in the classes we are having, what is it? We are having now, you know, the form classes. Now you can learn different techniques. As I told you, grid, right? So grid don't have any classes. Grid classes, they have an option called row, and they have an option call, and they have an option call with fragment. And how many fragment columns you can give? 1 to 12. The fragments you can give from 1 to 12. If you just give call, what will happen? It will responsive. Responsive means adjust according to the width. That means it will, suppose in a row, two columns you given, they will evenly distribute. 1, 4, another 8. Then you can mention the size. Without size, equally distributed, right? So this is the combination of row and column. That is what actually grid. There is no grid separately. You have to display like this. Means I will show you. Suppose now let's see, we are creating like this. What we are creating here is, let's say the example of HDFC Okay. This is loan EMI calculator, some personal loan EMI calculator. Now it looks like this. This calculator looks like this. And here you can see these are the elements it is having. And this is row 1, this is row 2, and this is row 3. We are having rows, right? And in that again 3 columns are divided. Here again 3 columns are divided. Here only one column is there. One column is there. Now, how do we design like this? Let's see how we can create like this. So this we will design in JavaScript. We can make it work functionalities. Right? Let's see how it works. So how we apply the class for this? I will create a separate file. I will copy these 3 lines because in every page you need those 3. I will create a simple EMI calculator.html. It is a traditional HTML page. And in that, if I want to use Bootstrap, copy all these 3 files. Okay, now let's create the design. For body, I'm giving BG secondary. Then you can see the complete body is like this. That is body background. And inside this, we will keep a div and a class as BG light. That is background light is there. And we will give here heading inside this a div. This is personal loan EMI calculator. Okay, just heading I given there. And this is having like margin for all directions will be like this. And padding also 4 or 3, that will be like this. And this personal loan EMI calculator. So I given a heading 4 style, then large. I given alignment text what? Center. It will be center align. Okay. Now below this, I will give another div. This will be first row. And row is applied with a class row. And in that row, 3 columns. That means 3 divisions. And class call. Call means equal share. It will distribute according to your parent and others. That means now we have three equally distributed. No, I want left one short, second one large, third one small. Then what you do? First one call 2, second one call 8, third one call 2. Then what will happen? Center column will be large, right? If you say like this, equally distributed. Suppose my is 4. My means margin top, margin bottom. Okay. In this, what you say amount you need. I will put a text box, input type as text. And you can see that it is going to display that there. And I will give size as 12, that small. After that, here I will give ampersand hash 8377. It will put a currency symbol. That is the currency. Amount you need for input type is text. Input type is text years. And I given size here size as 2. And you can see that is the second column. We have a second column. Third column. Third column is this one. Interest rate. Interest rate. Input type is text. And the size is 2. And I given percent. Then it will be like this. 3 columns are there. This is how we design a grid. We don't have an option for grid. Like this we need to design. And how this is the first row. Okay, let's design the second row now. That means we will go here div. What is this class? Row, another row. And margin y this also 4. In this again 3 divisions. This is class call. This is again class as call. Okay, this is again class as call. Okay, what should be here? They have a input type range. Input type range. Okay, for that we have a class form range. Am I right? That means you can see it will be like this. And same I am using for 3. I will copy same for 3. Not only that, now here below this I will keep a div. We have 2 spans. One span is having a class, not class, this is having a text. Amount range starts with ampersand hash 8377. It starts with suppose 1 lakh. That means it starts with some 1 lakh like this. And it is having like 10 lakhs. That is the value. Similarly, here for this year range, it starts with 1 year. So, and this is like 5 years. So, 5 years. So, that's what we have. And interest rate also in one span, it is having what 10.45%. And two, it is having like 18.45% roughly. And you see now they look like this. Now, what is the point is this span should come right side. You remembered float na? Float left, float right. So here what you can do is for this span, we can simply put a class float end. End means right side. That means it will come right side. What is the next 5 years? This span as float end. That means it will be right side. And what is the next one? This span will have class. What is it? Float end. That means it will get the float end. This is row. And we have another one. Okay. One more div. And in this div, we have a class row. In this div, we have a div. This is having class call. Means how many columns? Only one. This row is margin top 4. Suppose you say margin y as 4. And this column is having a button as calculate. Calculate. And you know button class btn as what? Primary. And you can see this is having text end means right side. It will be like this. That is how their calculator was there. We will make this function in the next level of JavaScript. So, but designing this requires lot of display grid and all, but now row call. I just used this for this combination. Actually, the intention is what to display in columns and rows. We can use anywhere. For example, I will copy this. This is for row column. Syntactically, I will give first to understand. Div will have a class row. In that, you have a class as call. Suppose I given 2 is one column. And another column can be defined as what? 10. You know, you have to divide among 12 fractions now. Like this we can use. Without fractions, if you give call, it will be 6, 6. If you have 3 divisions, they will distribute among 12. You can define size. Size, we will see another example. You will understand how we can mention that. So this is related to columns and Example I will give here. This is an example. I will copy this example first. This example is some EMI calculator I designed here. And let's see how these rows used in a different occasion also. I will go to a different page. So I will add a grid HTML. Let's create one sample here. Those three we need here. Remember, the third script file we are still not using. Later we will use them. Currently, you need only one script file. If I add functionality using the components, you will see that. Initially, you see now class padding 4. Okay, fine. Now, see, I created a data list and we are having a data term. Suppose this is like what some name. Okay, data definition Samsung TV. Okay, price. Data definition is some price. Another is stock. Data definition available. Like this, we are adding. Now, usually, this looks all the details. It looks like this is the page. Yeah, it looks like this. I want to display this information side by side. You already learnt, we done that column wise. But now see what to do. Just this data list will have a class row. After that, all terms will be in one column, definitions in another column. So terms will have a class call 3. Okay, now I will copy this. All terms are 3 columns. Then all definition should be how much? Call 9. Call 9 is all definitions. Call 9 is all definition. And you can see it is a grid. That means how it will display the grids. So we just add this border padding and border to something like this. It will show in this way. So actually means that depends on how much. This is 3, this is 9. Second one is 9. We can easily create into multiple, depends on requirement. And this is the combination of row and column, grid style actually. Just to show you another example. You can keep anything there. This is an example of this, right? So we have classes for forms and we have classes for this rows grid. Now, when you know grid and row classes, we have a class input group. Input group classes are very popular for forms and combination. Input group classes, we have input group and we have input group text, input group text. That's it. These two are input group classes. So remember, I am showing you Bootstrap 5, which is latest version. Now, don't come up with YouTube examples. Why? Because in YouTube, we don't know which version they are telling. And if you see a different version and you try that with the same what we are learning, they don't work. Why? Because in older versions, so many changes are there. We have input group append prepend, like so many are there. Those will not be there now in 5 version. What is there in the current latest version, I am showing you, right? And older versions tutorials you watch and try to implement them, they don't work here. So you need to check which version it is, right? So in the modern version, only two are there: input group text. Input group is very popular and very simple also. See, I will create a div. And I will create a class W50. Fine. In this div, I will create another div. In this div, I am creating a select, that is a drop down, and we have an option called all. That's it. You can put more into it. After that, we have input type as text. That is a checkbox. A text box class have form control, na? Form control. And after that, we have a button class btn warning bi search. There is a search button for that. Now, usually this will look like this. That means you can see it is going to look like this. That means we have a button text box, we have a search, we have a drop down. Simple. What you do, the container which is having all these elements, you put a class input group. That's it. Then they look like combined. They look like combined. And you have a placeholder here. What is it? So search Amazon.in. You see Amazon search bar same. And this drop down, I want to highlight. Anything you want to highlight in a input group, you put a class input group text. Then it will highlight. That will be fine. That is what Amazon search bar, na? So Amazon have a search bar, the same thing. That means you can make them look like a combined. So this is input group. That means it looks like this is attached to this. This is a simple input group. You can see so many. For example, another div. Okay, class W50. Okay, here I will give a div. In this, I am giving input type as email. For email, we have a class form control, and we will have a placeholder, your email address. After that, we have a button class btn danger, and we will have the word get started, and we will put a span bi chevron writer, where you have seen this Netflix, na? Netflix like option, and you can see class input group. Just put input group. And for this, I will give some BG danger, and you can BG dark. I will use. Just you will see it looks like this, and padding is 4, and it is like this. So margin top is 4. Then you see it is like this. You want little large, then input group LG. LG will create a large button. That means it makes the buttons and text boxes look like combined. Actually, this is the email. This is the text box, right? And these are buttons. They look like attached to them, but actually they are not attached. This means looks like the appearance is like that. We use in so many places. These we use in so many places. Where we use them, suppose I will show you div class W25. Okay, div, we have a span class bi person circle. Okay, and after that we have input type as text, and placeholder is some username, and after that we have a span. This have input type as checkbox. Just we are using checkbox class form. Simple checkbox is enough. Normal checkbox is enough. Now this is one container. Okay, we have another container. This is like what, key fill. I will use a key fill. Okay, and this is like password, and here you put the word password and checkbox, and you see margin top is 3, and usually they look like this. And this is having margin top 4 down. I want to make it look like combined form. Then simple. This we have to give input group, and this span we have to give as input group as what? Text also. And you can see they look like combined like this. And what is the class for the text box? For the text box, we have a class called form control. And this also class as what? Input group text. Input group text. Then it looks like combined like this. This is also very commonly seen in websites. That means what we have to do, this we have to give input group as text. Okay, this is class form control. And this span also, what is it? Input group text. Then you can see it is like this. And all this must be input group. That looks like combined. That's how we see. I haven't given any colors effects. I just given a transparent normal. This is input group, very popular. So generally we use these type of input groups. Anything you can give. Actually, for various situations, people use them. Actually. Suppose we have a div, and in this div, we are having like a span class, class bi, uh, not bi. This is input group text. Okay, this is input group, and here we will put a currency symbol ampersand hash 8377. After that, we have a text box. Input type text size is some 10, and class form control is there. After that, we have another span, and this is 0.00. I given something class input group text we are having. And you can see it looks like this. It looks like this. Then we have some margin top 4 and all. You can see it looks like this. These are all input groups. Input groups. Different combinations we use and different styles we apply. So while working with forms, these are very important. We have simple 2 classes. Actually, in older version, we used to have many classes. In new version, they removed them all. Actually, in older version, for left side attachment, we have to use input group prepend. For right side attachment, we have to use input group append. Now they removed it. It will take care. You put left or right attachment. It will attach to left, attach to right. So just we have only 2 classes. Size you can apply. How? Input group you can keep LG. LG is large. So default is small. You can just add LG for large. This is input group related class. This is example. This is example for input group, how we can use input group and work with this. This is enough for today. Actually, you learned for 4 days. What do you think? You learned very few things today? No, you learned half of bootstrap, right? That means you learned so many things today. All these for general people who don't know styling and all, it takes time. But we know all these. We are just knowing the classes. You have learned so many things today, right? You need to try all these. Now, once you know these, some more classes are there. Then we will go into components. Components means carousels, nav bars. We can design them dynamically with functions. That we will see in next session. First, you try all these. Today we have learned so many classes combination. Box model, position classes, text background classes, textile related classes, display classes, and button classes, form classes. So we learned about grid classes And I think input group classes, and one more is you can add float classes I given there. Huh? We have two options. What is it? Float start. Another one is float end. And you know you have a clear start. Am I right? Clear end. Why you need a clear? I told you now. So we have clear both, right? So that is clearing options. We need this. These are all the combination of some classes. Some more classes are there: table classes, list classes, and we have like progress bar classes. Those all we will see in next session, right? Tomorrow you try all this, practice all this. If you have any doubts, tomorrow we will have doubts, right? Because this is very important for next level. Remember, all our JavaScript examples will be with Bootstrap. If you don't practice Bootstrap, you can't touch JavaScript. That means you can't handle JavaScript examples that we show in class, because every example we use Bootstrap combination. If you don't practice this Bootstrap perfectly, you can't manage JavaScript anymore. Because not only JavaScript, React also you can't manage, because everywhere we use this for styling. And we don't explain there, we just use them. So you should be perfect, right? Then tomorrow, if you have any doubts, we can log in and check the doubts, right? Otherwise, we will continue on Monday session. Okay, right.